Hello, just letting everybody join. Hello, guys. I don't know how the audio is gonna sound on here because I don't have my mic. We're just sitting in the backyard, but hopefully you guys can hear me good. If you can't, I'll go inside. Just letting everybody join in. How are we doing? How was your Sunday? How we feeling? Can you guys hear the cicadas or whatever they're called? Oh, I can't stand them. Hello. How are we doing? How are we feeling? What's going on? It's beautiful Sunday. I might get a fire started and hang out back here. It's been super hot the past few days, so I haven't been able to sit outside really and relax. I was outside all day yesterday, but not relaxing. But how are we? What is going on? Just letting everybody join in. This is a safe place to ask any questions. I am a certified life coach. I focus on the subconscious mind because that's where you get results and transformation in your life. I am the type of coach that guarantees breakthroughs because I know how to work with the subconscious mind. I am also a hypnotist, and again, it's working directly with the subconscious mind to help change your state of mind effortlessly and easily. So if you did want to work together, I do offer one-on-one programs, long form programs, and also just short one-on-one calls. I also have my free self-hypnosis guide if that's something that you wanted to check out. That way you can do this on your own. Even in my free content guides, you can do this on your own, but if you do want assistance, I'm the one for it. But how are we doing? What questions do we have? I got a video coming out to where I did a screenshot of one of my clients. She was dealing with let me decline. She was dealing with a third-party situation, and she was separated from her person for, I think, like a year, she said. And in that year, she had stumbled upon manifestation, was try until she exhausted herself and was burnt out. And she worked with a couple other coaches, and they were just sending her affirmations and just not what she was looking for as far as a coach. So she stumbled upon one of my channels and decided to work with me. And I was going to be the last coach that she ever worked with. She was going to be done if I couldn't get her any kind of movement, or she couldn't get her person back. She was done. She was ready to move on with her life. She was burnt out and was over the whole thing. And I just got a text from her yesterday, and she ended up sharing with me that he ended up calling her, and they had a couple hour conversation, and by the end of it, he was saying that he missed what they had, her and him had, and he was done with the third party. And I haven't been working with her. It's been maybe 3 weeks, if that. That's even extending it a little bit. So I'm excited to share that story with you guys. Because anything's possible. And all we did, again, was work on her subconscious mind, shifting her state of being, her mindset, and the stories that she had. Because obviously, with her person leaving her for a third party and cheating on her, there's a lot of resentment there that you have to work through, and a lot of stories and history. So that's what we were able to do with the type of hypnosis style, that, like, my approach behind it. Alrighty, guys. Let me see if you guys have commented anything. What's coming up? Okay, so Lauren, you feel like you're doing really good, but you're not understanding why it's taking a year for SP. Okay, so um that tells me yes, you might be doing good, right? You might be observing your thoughts, you might be doing the reprogramming work, but your focus is still on the lack. Your focus is still on the evidence that you don't have what you want, which means you haven't fully actually identified as this new version of you that has what they want. You're still identifying as a version of you that's waiting to have what you want, waiting for evidence, right? So that right there is why you haven't seen anything of like your full desire. Maybe you got a little bit of movement, but any of your full desire this past year that you've been doing all of this work, because your focus is still on the needing evidence. When you actually shift your state of being and you start thinking from the end, feeling from the end, believing from the end, and taking action from the end, your 3D will have to reflect that, and you won't care how long that takes, right? You won't even be focused on the lack or the movement that you aren't seeing. You won't even be able to perceive your life that way. So when you notice that this is happening and you're noticing that you still aren't getting what you want, that's still in the state of I don't have what I want. I'm still waiting. I'm still trying. Is there more that I need to do? Is there a belief? Is there a block? You're still in that place. So yes, you might be feeling better about yourself, about them. You probably let go a lot of the resistance around it, but your focus is still on where it needs to not be, right? But that's it. That's an easy fix, right? So continue to tell the story of what you do want. Continue to embody that new version of you. How would you think? So anytime that you notice yourself looking at the 3D, but there's no movement, but I just still don't have what I want. It's been a year. Why is it taking so long? When you notice those thoughts coming up, you're in that state of not having. You're in the state of lack. So what we need to do is return to the wish fulfilled. Because if you had what you wanted, you wouldn't be questioning, right? You wouldn't be wondering where it's at. And I understand it seems like there's like some sort of conflict there. Well, Lane, yeah, if I had what I want, it would be physically in front of me. So no shit, I wouldn't be saying that. But at the same time, you have to be the change to see the change. If my dog's gonna freak out from the fireworks, you have to be the change to see the change. So if you go back to the state of I don't have what I want, then that's all you're going to perceive, which means that you're more dominantly in that state than you are in the state of the wish fulfilled. So when you notice yourself questioning why it's taking so long, why it hasn't happened yet, but you've been doing really good, it's your job to return to the wish fulfilled. How would you be thinking, feeling, acting, and believing in if you already had what you wanted? And as you continue to return to that state and rebound to that state, that will become your dominant state. And then that's when you'll see the reflection change. Does that make sense? The bugs are starting to get me. But that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong, Lauren. It literally just means that you gotta switch your focus. That's awesome that you feel like you're feeling like the prize, right? And doing really, really good. But again, it's about your focus. So you can feel like you're the prize. Your self concepts can be on point, etc. But if your focus is still on the lack, that is still the state. You're in the state of I'm the prize, but I still don't get what I want. I'm the prize and I'm feeling really good, but I'm still not in the wish fulfilled. I still don't have my specific person by my side. I'm still waiting, hoping, wishing that this is going to work. So that's the state. Does that make sense? I think I'm just getting tired. Yeah, I mean, if you, it is exhausting. Like, think about before you knew anything about manifestation. Life was exhausting. To continue to doubt yourself, to feel like you're not capable, for things to never work out for you, to constantly watch how everyone pretty much shits on you, does you dirty. That it got exhausting for me. I was tired of it. And it took practice to get where I'm at, and took practice to really hone in my mind. But it's not impossible. I'm no different than you guys. It comes down to mindset. And the only thing that really changed anything for me was hypnosis and observation of my thoughts. As soon as I started observing where my thoughts were actually going and how often I was actually out of the state of the wish fulfilled, that's what was like the game changer for me, the eye opener, because I was sitting there thinking I'm feeling a lot better. I know I've shifted my beliefs, even my perception starting to change, but I noticed my focus was still on everything that I don't have, even though I was telling a new story. I would observe my thoughts and see, oh, well, there's still no movement. Why isn't this working? How come there's still no money in my bank account? How come, I still can't find the right girl? All of those thoughts would still be coming up when I wasn't doing my like intentional self-talk. So it kind of showed me what state I was returning to more often than what I wanted. I was the old version of me more often than I was this new one. Does that make sense? So it's just a simple tweak that you can make. Because think about it. So our subconscious mind is filtered through, or our conscious mind and our perception is filtered from our subconscious mind. It's called the reticular activating system. That is our filtration system. So whatever beliefs you have is how you are going to perceive reality. We have, I forgot the exact number, but we'll be exaggeratory here, right? And say you take in 10 million bits per second. And like that's all of everything that you can see and can't see, and we only take in 4 bits per second out of the millions and billions of trillions of freaking bits of information in this world that we can't even perceive. We're only taking in, we'll say, 4% of that. They have actual numbers for it. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. But if you're only taking 4% in of your whole reality based off of your beliefs, that's where your focus is going to go. So if you're on in the beliefs that I don't get what I want, sorry if you guys can hear my dogs, if you're in the beliefs that you don't get what you want, then those beliefs are going to filter out all the instances that you still can't get what you want, how you still have more healing work to do, how this is so hard that you're burnt out and you're tired and you don't want to do any more techniques. That's all it's going to show you. Oliver. They're bad boys. They're just happy to be outside. So that's literally what our reticular activating system does. It filters out what we can and can't experience, what we can and can't perceive. So everything already, is there. We just can't perceive it. If you have a belief that you're not good enough, a belief that you don't get what you want, you're going to notice how you're not enough. Everyone is always going to be choosing someone else other than you. Everyone's going to be a priority other than you. Everyone else is going to get what they want other than you. And you're going to see more and more evidence of that until you change your beliefs and your focus. Does that make sense? So it's actually just a really fascinating thing that science is really starting to prove. Finally, science is catching up to what, the metaphysical world has already known and like the philosophers have already known. But yeah, I mean, hypnosis was the game changer for my life, and self-talk of observing and guiding where my thoughts were going. That's literally all you have to do is decide that's not the direction I want my mind to go. This is the direction. And that's different than flipping your thoughts, because that you will get burnt out. Your mind wasn't meant for that. Your mind wasn't supposed to be like, oh, that's a negative thought, that's a positive thought, that's a negative thought, that's a positive thought, and go back and forth. Just let thoughts be thoughts and decide and choose your preference. That's it. And hypnosis makes it a whole lot easier to do that. because then you don't have that resistance there. Those beliefs, those old beliefs aren't there to tell you, no, this is why this isn't going to work. So if you choose new beliefs, say if you do hypnosis and you choose new beliefs of I'm chosen, I'm good enough, love is safe, love is I'm ready to receive love, I'm open, my heart is open, etc. You choose those kinds of new stories and beliefs. Automatically, your mind's going to get more and more quiet to the old stories. You'll get detached from, well, I'm always cheated on, and men lie, and I never get, the exact person I want. The person that I have feelings for never has feelings for me. And you'll drop all of those stories effortlessly. They might still come up in your mind, but you're no longer attached to them. It's just like a cloud in the sky that's going to pass on by. You have no you've detached the emotional meaning around it, right? That's what wires in a belief is the emotion. So if you have an emotional intensity around something, like that time that you did get cheated on, you're gonna think all guys are like that, or that you could potentially get your heart broken. That's why the pattern continues to repeat. That's how the mind works. But if you train yourself to believe that love is safe, and then you start training your reticular activating system to see that love is safe. So seeing things on TikTok and be like, oh, well, that person's in a healthy relationship. They seem happy and secure. That's safe love. Or if you see, your parents that have been married for 50 years, safe love. Like you'll naturally start scanning areas in your life that remind you that love is safe. And you start to train yourself based off of these experiences that you, even if it's not you personally experiencing it quite yet, it reinforces that new belief. And then that's when you actually do get to experience it. That makes sense, guys? If you guys have any other questions, then please feel free to ask. I'm here. That's why I come on live. I have to start posting what times I'm going live. I was winging it today. But yeah, so it can be simpler than you guys give yourself credit for. A lot of times, like when I first started out, it was just do affirmations, and I exhausted myself. I'm like, this is not like, I feel like my mind is broken. I feel like I broke my mind, because I was so set on like the technique and in lack. I was so desperate that it put me in a worse position. And until I stopped doing all techniques together, like I need a break. And then I finally, stabilized my mental health at that point, and then looked into hypnosis, and that's been the game changer ever since, was hypnosis. That's why I got trained in it myself, because that's the only thing I saw results. And and I did other reprogramming work like the sleep tapes, and I saw a tiny bit of results, but not the way that hypnosis has transformed everything. Not even close, guys. Do you still post lives on your YouTube? I do not. I haven't. I haven't really been live on here, so I haven't really had anything to post. Um, I mean, I can if you enjoy it. I can do that. But right now, for YouTube, I got a series started on my journey of manifesting a specific person. So I've been doing, I think it's like 2 or 3 videos every week. And I started a whole playlist of my experience as I'm going through it. So if that's something that you want to check out, that's what I'm working on currently, as far as YouTube and content. But yeah, if you guys like the lives, I can repost over there. And then for the new people here that don't know, yeah, I do have a YouTube channel. You can go check that out. I break down, manifestation and exactly what to do, my own personal experiences of it. Um, and yeah, and then obviously on this channel as well. And then I did start a new program to where it's a 90-day breakthrough guaranteed program. It's very hands-on. It includes text coaching for any time that you guys would need it for the full 90 days. It also has weekly phone calls where we will be doing calls on Zoom for coaching and hypnosis. So we'd be meeting every single week for those 12 weeks, and you'd get the hands-on approach. And like I said, it's guaranteed breakthroughs. So if that's something you're sick and tired of not getting results, that's your best bet. If you want to do that, you can do it on your own, like I said, though. All of my content shares it. You're trying to persist, but your SP just broke up with you. Well, let's reframe this. Sometimes it looks like negative, quote unquote, negative things happen in our lives when really that's the bridge that's going to lead us to our ends. Happen in our lives when really that's the bridge that's going to lead us to our end. So even though it looks like right now, what the hell does this have to do with my end? How would having my heart broken be part of my end? Well, from my own experience, anytime that I've ever went through a breakup, that has been the biggest transformation I have ever made. It's the most epiphanies that I've ever had, the biggest changes in my life that within myself that I've ever made. And I come into like a whole new version of me. And then there have been partners that I got back with, and the whole relationship dynamic was different because I was different. So this can be the catalyst to your end goal if that's what you decide it is. Everything comes down to you and your decisions. So if you give this the meaning, this is a breakup, and oh my God, and this means that it's over, that manifestation doesn't work, and maybe I did something wrong, then that's gonna make your bridge, the unfolding, a little bit more challenging for you. Not that you can't get what you want, but it's gonna make it more challenging. Instead, if you took that as an opportunity to say, I don't know how this hurts, this sucks, I don't like it, it doesn't make any freaking sense to me, but I'm going to believe that this is part of my bridge. Somehow I'm still going to get what I want and continue to return to that state of the wish fulfilled, that version of you that has what they want. Then the breakup will seem like it was necessary to happen, and it will speed this whole process up because you're no longer resisting. What you resist will persist. What you accept will then speed all of this up. So if you accept it, okay, yeah, somehow this is part of my bridge. I don't know how. I don't like it. I don't have to like it. This isn't my preference, but there's something bigger, bigger than me that sees the full map of everything. And my little brain can't perceive it right now, but somehow it's leading me directly to what I want. So I'm just going to trust. That's what persistence is trusting in yourself and returning to that state of the wish fulfilled, even if it doesn't make any sense. The mosquitoes are eating me alive right now, guys. We might have to go in. They be getting me. He started going to therapy. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, he's definitely aligning to what you want. So that's awesome. Let me scroll back up. Okay, so your ex broke up with you after 5 years and then she blocked you. So we can go into the story that you don't get what you want, you're never chosen, and that, I don't know, your mind is probably wandering. She's probably with someone else. Was there someone else? Did she cheat on me? And wow, this was so unexpected. It was your thoughts and your stories and your insecurities and fears that created this mess to begin with. So what we have to do is start observing what's going on up here and redirecting to what we do want. So if you're noticing stories, I wonder what she's doing. Is she with someone else? Was she talking to someone else? Did I not see the signs? And if any of that's going on in your mind, you have to allow that thought to be there, detach from it, and recognize, where is this coming from? No, it's coming from fear. It's coming from scarcity. It's coming from insecurity. It's coming from the belief of not feeling like you're enough. And when you start to really highlight these things, these core wounds within you, that's when you can start to dissolve them and work through them and process the emotions around them and then integrate them into this new version of you, no longer rejecting it. A lot of people in this community say, ignore it, da, 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 just be new self. No, you integrate it. You'll have so much less resistance if you just integrate these parts of yourself instead of trying to reject it or push it away or act like it doesn't exist. It's still a part of you no matter what. But if you just, again, allow and stop resisting, then it won't persist. So as I was saying, we have to drop the story of that she blocked you and the hurt around that and the rejection feeling around that and around the breakup, and choose the story of what you do want instead. Okay, well, again, if this, even though it looks ugly, it looks like you're not going to get what you want, you don't understand, you're feeling confused. If you decide somehow this is part of our happily ever after, this is part of us getting married and spending the rest of our lives together with a white picket fence and whatever it is that you want, right? If you decide to go that route and make that decision and return to that decision and then play in your imagination with that new identity, starting to question, how would I be thinking if that were my life? If I knew we were either already married, going to get married, we were back together, things were on that path, how would I be feeling? What actions would I be taking? What other things would I be focused on in my life? What would I have to believe in about myself, about love and our relationship, and about her? And you start to play with these new concepts in your mind, you'll actually start to embody that identity. You'll think differently, you'll feel differently, you'll act differently, you'll want to do different things. Naturally, your energy will become magnetic to where she's drawn right back to you, and all of it was part of the unfolding of you getting what you want. Like it never even happened, right? And you'll experience a different version of her, the version of her that does choose you, that does want you, that is there for you, that is supportive, that does want to spend the rest of her life with you. Okay? But it starts up here, right? We have to work through and process those emotions, not judge them, just let whatever needs to come up, let it go. Integrate. That's why I do parts therapy. Like we do integration work when we work together one-on-one, because I help you accept those parts of yourself and then decide new ones. Let me go back up, guys. And this does sound, I guess, like woo-woo, right? If you're new to this, it does sound crazy. But think about it. Everything is energy. How many times did you think about somebody and then all of a sudden they called you? Do you think that that's a coincidence? No, it was energy. It was a transfer of energy. How many times did you go through a breakup and you're single and you're not even looking for love, you don't care, and all of a sudden you meet someone and you think that they're the one. They just came into your life. It was so perfect. Again, energy. You were detached. You weren't looking. You weren't trying. You were in a better version of yourself that felt whole and complete on their own, didn't need anything, knew how to regulate your own emotions. You felt like you were enough. You weren't trying to impress anybody or be somebody that you're not. You're just living your life. Of course, that's going to attract somebody. So think about these moments and these experiences in your own life that you've already had that kind of show you it's energy. It's energy, it's beliefs. How many identities do you think you've gone through? How much heartbreak have you guys gone through and then got over it and moved on and felt better from it? That was a shift in identity. We're constantly shifting from state to state to state to state, like billions of times. We just don't realize it because each state is so close to the next state, unless you experience like what science calls quantum jumping, to where you go from one extreme identity to a different identity, to where your beliefs are completely unlocked, completely different. That's where, again, people see the transformation in hypnosis. In like less than a month, people are sitting there, I'm a completely different person. Um, it's really crazy. It's really cool though. Let me see. Um, so I mean, if you want to get back with your ex and really be over the breakup, you have to choose that new identity. Um, like, why would you choose to not have faith? That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, you're trying to move. Do you not want this person? That's okay if you don't want that person. Completely fine. There's not an ex I would go back to. I can tell you that. But um, that's fine. But if this is a person that you do want to experience life with, but not that version of them, not the experiences that you've had in the past with them, then you have to be the change. You have to change your belief systems, you have to change your thought patterns, you have to change your feeling state. And by changing all of those things, you'll naturally become a new version of you. And when you change, people around you change. Everyone is your mirror. They mirror your beliefs, they mirror your traumas, they mirror your triggers. They don't even know that they're doing it. It's subconscious to subconscious, energy to energy. So that'd be my question for you. If you do, you still want this person? Let's make it happen then. If you don't, all right, cool. Then I'll help you integrate and work through, so then you can fully let go. That light just kicked on. That means more mosquitoes are coming. Awesome. Is it okay if you remove focus on your specific person? Yeah, I mean, I want to know why, right? So you'll notice that when you're in the wish fulfilled and you are that version of you that internally, even though externally nothing might have changed yet, it's not in the full end yet. Internally, you already feel like you are. Internally, you already feel like you are that version of you. You're thinking from the end, you're having visuals come to you of your life with that person, and just you're feeling differently, you're believing everything's possible for you. Naturally your focus is going to go on other things, because if you already had that person, would you not be focusing on work and making more money and on your grind? Would you not be focusing on maybe your health? Would you not be focusing on your friends or your hobbies? Obviously you would be doing all of those things, because that person would no longer be you would no longer trying to consume or trying to get that person. They're already safe, they're in the bag, it's a secure relationship, you know that they're always going to be there. Of course your focus is going to go elsewhere. So that's actually a really good sign when you're in that state. The bugs, man. I might have to go inside. Can explain how you choose a new identity. You ask yourself, Dexter, you ask yourself how you would be thinking, feeling, and acting if you already had what you wanted, if you were already that version of you that you wanted to be. Your thoughts would be completely different than what they are now as this new version of you. Okay, so we'll talk about a little bit of money, right? So the version of you that's broke, that has really no money coming in, living paycheck to paycheck, is going to think entirely different than that version of you that is maybe an entrepreneur, successful, has a level of pride from doing it by themselves, and having their name out there, building a brand, and oh, let me try to kick on the light again. Building a brand. You're going to be thinking entirely different, right? You're going to be feeling different about yourself. You're going to believe differently about yourself. So to tune into that new identity of someone who's wealthy, successful, proud of, what they're serving for others or selling to others, that identity is going to be completely different. So you ask yourself, what would I be thinking if I was an entrepreneur, super successful, and the money's coming in hand over fist? Well, I'd be thinking, this was so easy. It really didn't take me that long. Like, I love to go to work now. My work doesn't even feel like work. It just feels good. I get to work from home. You would start just thinking from that point of view, right? And then feeling wise, you'd start feeling secure when you're swiping your card or you're having to pay for something. You'd be like grateful, like, yeah, I got the money, like, duh. You wouldn't care about the prices of things. You wouldn't care about, I don't know, going out to dinner or door dashing or buying a drink for your friend when you guys all go out. Your whole demeanor around everything, your beliefs around it would be entirely different. So to choose a new identity, you question, how would I? Who would I be? What would my life look like? How would my life be different? Would I be living somewhere else? Would I be traveling more? What places would I be traveling? Would I be dressing different? What kind of clothes would I be buying? Would I buy designer jewelry? Shoes? That's how you start to embody a new version of you. Is question, what would be different about my life? What would be different about my thoughts? What would be different about my beliefs? Does that make sense? All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna hop off here, because the bugs be getting me. But if you did want to work together, again, you're more than welcome to check out the link in my bio. I do have the 90-day guaranteed breakthrough program, along with other programs and services. I do have hypnosis audios if you just wanted to do it on your own. I have the free self-hypnosis guide if that's something you wanted to download. But you don't need to book anything or buy anything. All of my content shares all of this information. You can do it on your own, but if you did want support, it is available for you. Okay? But I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. And just remember that you have to take your power back and stop giving it away to all of the circumstances, all of the things that have gone wrong, all of the trying and the effort, and finally learn that it's about you. Who are you choosing to be in returning to that choice? That's what it comes down to. All right. So I'll try to give a heads up next time that I go live. Doesn't always happen. A lot of times I just wing it. So make sure that you're following and you hit that little bell icon thingy on my page. That way it notifies you when I do go live. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying I'm amazing. I appreciate it. All right, guys. So I hope that you have a wonderful night, and just remember, you got this. Bye, guys. All right, guys. So I hope that you have a wonderful night, and just remember, you got this. Bye, guys.